Good morning, class. Now I want to look at variation. We want to look at how different values, different variables can vary against each other. We have different types of variation. Number one, we have direct variation. What direct variation, what it implies is that when you have two different variables that varies directly with each other, directly means if one variable increases, the other one will also increase. While if one variable decreases, the other one will also decrease. Number two, we have inverse variation. What this implies is that if a variable increases, the other one will take the inverse, that is, will decrease. While if a variable decreases, the other one will take the inverse, that is going to increase. That's what the mathematics is telling us, inverse variation. The third one is joint variation. Joint variation combines both direct and inverse variation. That's why we call it joint. Right, the last one is partial variation. What partial variation implies is that by the time you are going to have two different variables that varies against each other with respect to two different constants. So we are going to look at some examples to illustrate each of the variation one after the other. So let's look at the first example here. Example 1. This is on direct variation. The question goes thus. If x varies directly as y, solution. If x, this is x, varies directly as y. This is the first statement. Now, from this first statement, the first thing we need to do is to eliminate this variation sign. We need to eliminate this sign. To eliminate this sign, we add equal sign to it with a constant. The addition of this equal sign and a constant will eliminate this variation sign. And we have y. That is, x is now equals to ky, where k is constant. Now, let's look at the question again. If x varies directly as y, and this is it, and x equals to 64, that is, when x is 64, okay, times y is 4. Y has been given to be 4. The constant has not yet been given. So from here, we can find the constant. We now have 64 equals to 4k. We can find the constant by dividing both sides by the coefficient of the constant, which is 4. So we divide both sides by 4. So k becomes 64 over 4, which will give us 16. Since we've gotten k to be 16, therefore we can go back to this equation now that, therefore now, because it's now x equals to ky, is now equals to 4y. Equals to 16y. Since our k now is 16. So x is equal to 16y, we now represent the equation connecting x and y. So this is the equation connecting x and y. Or rather, we can also say that this is the equation that shows the relationship between x and y. That is, x is equals to 16y. Now let's look at the question now. The question says, find x. That's it, we should find this x, which is equals to 16y. We should find this x now when y is 1 over 16. We have been given y, and we have to find an x, which is equals to 16 times the y has been given now to be 1 over 16. So put 1 over 16 there. And finally, we have 16, we eliminate 16, and we're left with 1. This shows that when y is 1 over 16, our x is going to be 1. And you can see that this is just what we call variation. When x was 64, y was 14. When x decreased to 1, y also decreased to 1 over 16. That's what we call direct variation. Thank you.